So let's move to an example of where a force play can actually be removed in the middle of the play. So I just went ahead here and I set up a play. So we had the yellow teams on offense, so he's up to bat, and we have runners on first and second base. And the red team, they're playing defense. So we can see our four infielders here. And so let's say the batter hits a ground ball, and that's a ground ball is when the ball rolls. It's not up in the air, so it's rolling on the ground to the shortstop. And so you remember the shortstop has a couple options. He can throw it over here to third base because we have a force play on this runner, so he could throw it to the third baseman, or he could run over here himself and he could step on second base, and that would get out this base runner because he's forced to second base. Or he could pick up the ball and he could throw it to first base and get the batter out because the batter is also kind of automatically forced to go to first base. So let's say in this case the ball is hit. Let's say instead of going there, the ball is hit real close to second base, and so this shortstop, he's going to run over and he's going to pick up the ball, and since he's right beside second base, he's just going to step on the base. So as soon as the ball is hit, this base runner, he's running here toward third base. This runner here will take off running towards second base, and the batter, of course, will start running toward first base. And so because the ball was hit hard enough, the shortstop, he'll be able to pick up the ball and step on second base before this runner is able to make it there. So he'll be out. So that's our first out. So what that means is that as soon as he steps on the second base, this base runner over here, he's out. So he's removed kind of from the situation. So he really doesn't, he'll end up out here, but he's not involved in the play anymore. So so what that means is that we're down to two runners. We have the batter who's running toward first, and we have the base runner who was originally on second base who was running toward third. And so remember, originally, if the shortstop got the ball, he could have picked it up and thrown it to the third base because that would have been a force out. But because this guy is no longer here, the runner who was originally on first base, he's out, so he's basically gone. So that means there is no longer a force play on this runner. So if the shortstop turns and he sees that maybe this guy's a slow runner, and so we'll say he's only halfway, so he's right here whenever the shortstop's touching second base. So the shortstop's going to see that, and he's going to turn, and it's his option. Again, he could throw to first base and try to get the batter out, but for this, let's say he turns and he throws the ball over here to the third baseman. And so the third baseman, because he's no longer forced, because remember there's no runner here anymore pushing him toward third, because he's no longer forced, the third baseman actually has to tag the base runner out. He can't just touch the base. And this could happen, say if they're fast enough, it could happen that the shortstop throws the ball to the third baseman, and the batter or the runner, the base runner, actually sees this, and he has enough time. So if he wants to, he could actually turn around and run back towards second base because it's at this point he's not forced, so it's his option if he wants to be on second base or third base. And so what could happen is that whenever the runner turns around and starts running towards second, the third baseman, he can run after him and try to tag him, but if the runner gets to the second base first, then he would be safe. But what would happen in this situation is the second baseman, he would see this, so he would come running over here to help his teammates. And so after the ball went from the shortstop to the third baseman would throw it to the second baseman who's coming over here. And so they would have the runner trapped in the middle. And whenever that happens, that's called a rundown. And so it just basically means that the runner is in the middle, and the red team, the defensive team, is gonna throw the ball back and forth and kind of trap him in the middle until he gets so tired that one of them can get to him and tag him. What the runner is trying to do is have them mess up. Say the third baseman throws the ball to the second baseman, but instead of catching it, it goes way out and it flies out into, it could fly out here into right field and roll out there. And so then the runner, because he's not in danger because the ball's out in right field, he can turn around and he can run toward third base and get there safely.